if you're like me and a couple other of unlucky gamers throughout the month of December, or heck, within the last few months, you've probably been familiar with this screen with League of Legends, New Worlds, PUBG, Valorant, Fortnite, and even Epic Games, all reporting issues within the last few months. And guess what they all have in common? AWS. And what exactly is AWS, and why the heck are companies using it? Well, to cover that, we do got to talk some nerd talk for a little bit, so please bear with me. To start off, we do have to talk about how multiplayer games even work. And I'm sure like many of you don't really care about how your Call of Duty game actually connects to the internet or works.
Look at this shit.
Fuck! But I'm going to explain it to you anyway. So to start out, basically it's your computer or Xbox or PlayStation or fucking Nintendo Switch. It's all these devices. Basically, they'll send a connection out to another computer. And we call this computer a server. Much like someone who brings you out food and takes in requests for you.
Hello and welcome, sir. How can I help you today?
Ah, yes. Can I please have 10 Chrome tabs filled with your hottest and steamiest BDSM porn, please?
Sir, this is a goddamn Applebee's.
This thing does the same exact thing. It will take in requests from a computer and spit out outputs. For gamers like me, that basically means, let me play a game. So our computer gets to talk to this supercomputer and say, alright, we'll host a 16-person lobby. And so it uses part of its memory, just like our computer uses memory to play Fortnite, to open Word, or Google pornography. Oh god, I laughed at my joke and I fucking lost what I was talking about. And so once that lobby started, basically it has you, and then till 15, 13, whatever the lobby size is, starts, and then the game server will host and do all the background stuff for you so you can play our games. Now I know many of you are probably thinking, what about private servers? Well, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's private. So typically, like for Minecraft, you can buy a hunker like this. Well, we're gonna Google servers here. We get some scariness if we Google it. But this isn't what you need. You do not need. Oh, I mean, that's not shit. But like, you do not need a $3,000 computer if what you're playing is Minecraft with your friends. You can do that on your normal computer, I promise you. It doesn't take that much. So anyway, companies for the last 20 years have had to build their own computers to do these jobs for them. And it can be pretty pricey, as you imagine, much like if you've been paying attention to GPUs like me, they'll bleed you dry and make you cry. So it can be pretty expensive to do this, let alone the software. We all love to buy Windows, and we all love to buy Adobe products, and we all love to buy that stuff. Well, these companies kind of have to, or else they'll get their asses sued off. So they have to buy hardware, they have to buy the software, and then they have to make sure their product is actually selling with marketing business bullshit. The suits have to make their change, man. So it can be pretty expensive. So now you're probably thinking, okay, what does this have to do with AWS? Well, I'm getting there. Basically, what Amazon and Microsoft and Google, the three conglomerates of the world, what they have decided to do is, since they have so much money, they've been able to buy these super data farms with these supercomputers on it that can do all sorts of things that our plebeians wish our computers could do. And then they rent it out. And what I mean by rent it out is much like we can rent out a parking garage, you can rent out they rent out part of their hardware. So let's say we have, quick math, let's just say we have, let's do 100. Nice and easy numbers. Let's say we have 100 gigs of RAM. We can divide that to 10 people pretty evenly, can't we? So let's say we give it to 10 users. We rent out 10 gigs of RAM. And I know I'm dumbing that down quite a bit, but that's essentially what it is. You can rent different CPU powers. You can do all that on the fly. And it's really nice. I mean, I think it's personally as a normal computer user, I think it's pretty neat. I mean, even if oh, well, you can't see that. If we go to this Amazon, I mean, wow. If we go to this Azure or Microsoft diagram, you can see that you can do quite a bit with this technology. I mean, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have 10 virtual machines running on 3 different, I don't know if those are subnets or, no, I think it's one network. But still, they have 9 virtual, I can't count, but whatever. They have a lot of virtual machines, and then they have 1, 2, 3, oh, actually, these are on premise. Yeah, these are all on site. But let alone just here, they have this whole virtual machines running in the cloud, and that can save a company a lot of money in the front up costs instead of having to spend a couple 10 grand. I don't know, I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, but they don't have to spend 10 grand on a computer setup to be able to start up their company. Now we can just say, oh shit, it's $1,000 now a month to do this. And honestly, to accountants, it's called something. It's like operational expense instead of just buying something when it comes to a business. And I don't know tax shit, but I guess it's better. I don't know. Amazon and Microsoft both advertise the shit out of that, so it must be important, right? So why is it a bad thing, though? I mean, I just sat there praising it for about 3 minutes. Well, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think like with anything, it does have its downsides. And some of these downsides have been, well, it's kind of made the internet a little more centralized. And what I mean by that is if we go to Azure regions, or access points actually, yo, I don't care. Oh my gosh, just let me explore your weird infograph. So yeah, this laggy ass infograph. So let's say we go to here in the United States, which is where I live. And they have so they have 2 East Coast regions. So that means there's 2, we're going to call them data centers on the East Coast. So let's say shit hits the fan on this data center. Yeah, let's say shit hits the fan on this data center and for whatever reason they're back up. Well, now whoever uses these are completely out of service. And that's unfortunately what we've seen happen with some of these companies. For example, if we went, I believe Epic, AWS outage, garbage about Epic. Epic went down, Slack went down. And these are all within the month of December. I believe December had like 3 outages, which is a lot. I mean, that sucks especially because more and more companies are using it. I mean, you'd be shocked. Like, a lot of companies use these services. And honestly, I don't blame them. Like I was explaining, it's much cheaper and it's easier to justify from a business standpoint, at least to a suit. And I'm not saying this is bad. Like, I was praising it. I mean, I was able to find here, AWS Minecraft server. Like right here, we have a quick guide on how to set up a Minecraft server, and this would take you an hour. I mean, probably 2 hours if you don't know totally what you're doing. I've never set up a Minecraft server, I'm going to be honest, but I've set up services before. This wouldn't take you long. This would just, I mean, you could literally just copy and paste. Look at this. I could just copy and paste these codes from here. And that's amazing. That wouldn't take you long at all. So if you wanted to have your own Minecraft server for probably relatively cheap, you have to add more things to it to keep it cheap. So it's like only used when you're on, only used, and then limit things, because obviously the more, like we discussed, the more CPU, the more RAM, the more bullshit you use, the more they're going to charge you. And that's a fact of life, ladies and gents. You can't change that. But alright everyone, I want to thank you for watching my little rant. I just wanted to do a little spiel. I've been seeing a lot of these articles come out, and I personally, I work in the cloud. I use Azure for my job. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I play video games, and it affects me. So I just wanted to share what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm full of shit? Do you guys think the cloud is great? Do you guys think it's bad? Let me know in the comments. And give it a like if you guys found this informative, or if you just want me to go back to playing games, let me know. Thank you guys.